Have you ever stopped to think that the smartest people you know are often exactly the ones with the least money? It's not a coincidence. It's not bad luck. And it's definitely not a lack of effort. It's a pattern. A silent, specific pattern, and the smarter you are, the harder it hits you. In the next few minutes, you're going to understand why intelligence, the very thing that should be your greatest advantage, might be exactly what's keeping you stuck financially. And more than that, you're going to know what to do differently starting today. Stay till the end, because what I'm about to show you in this video, most people never stop to see. And that's exactly why they stay right where they are. But before we get there, I need to ask you 3 questions. First, have you ever gone all in on something, studied it, planned it, prepared for it, and still went nowhere? Second, have you ever felt like you know too much to accept a simple opportunity, but somehow still haven't found the right one? And third, this is the one that really gets people. Have you ever watched someone with less knowledge than you make a lot more money, and just couldn't figure out how? If you said yes to any of those, what I'm about to show you is definitely about you. Stay with me till the end. Think of someone you know. Could be a coworker, a friend, or maybe it's you. You study. You read books. You consume content. You follow the market. You understand politics, economics, human behavior. You can break down a situation and catch details most people miss entirely. And yet, at the end of the month, the numbers don't add up. The paycheck disappears before the month is over. The debt hangs around. The plans exist only on paper, and that feeling I should be further along than this hits every time you see someone less qualified doing well. This isn't a lack of ability. This isn't a lack of drive. This is something far more specific. And that's exactly what we're going to break down in this video. Because there's a concrete reason, almost scientific, for why this happens. And it starts somewhere nobody suspects. Inside your own head. The trap. Most people believe that the more you know, the easier it gets to make money. Makes sense, right? More knowledge, better decisions. Better decisions, better results. But money doesn't work that way. The market, whatever market that is, doesn't reward whoever thinks fast. The market rewards whoever moves first. Whoever tests, fails, adjusts, and keeps going. And there's the core problem for people who are too smart to act fast. Smart people have been conditioned their entire lives to get things right. In school, if you got it wrong, you got punished. If you got it right, you got rewarded. If you failed, you got corrected, embarrassed, held back. So you enter adulthood with an operating system that says, only act when you're certain. But in the real world, certainty doesn't exist. And whoever waits for it ends up waiting forever. Analysis paralysis. There's a phenomenon psychologists call analysis paralysis. And it hits smart people disproportionately hard. Here's how it works. The more you know about a subject, the more risks you see, the more variables you notice, the more you can picture everything that could go wrong. So instead of acting, you analyze more, research more, plan more, until the window of opportunity closes and all you're left with is the perfect analysis of something that never started. Meanwhile, someone with less knowledge than you was already out there, making it happen. Already failed, already learned, already adjusted, already moved on. The market doesn't wait for you to be ready. It rewards whoever shows up. Think of a simple example. 2 people decide to start a business on the same day. The first one, let's call him the analyst. Smart, detail-oriented, analytical. He spends 3 months researching the market, studying competitors, building a flawless business plan. When he finally feels ready, he finds out someone else already launched something similar and already has customers. The second one, let's call him the doer, doesn't know half of what the analyst knows. But he starts the following week with what he has. fails badly in the first few months, adjusts, fails again, adjusts again. 6 months later, he's making money. Meanwhile, the analyst is still perfecting his plan. This isn't fiction. This is the daily reality of smart people who haven't realized yet that the game has changed. The knowledge paradox. Here's a twist that's going to sound strange at first, but pay close attention. The more you learn, the more you feel like you're not ready. That actually has a name. In the 90s, two psychologists from Cornell University, David Dunning and Justin Kruger, discovered something unsettling about how people assess their own knowledge. People who know a little tend to think they're experts. People who know a lot tend to doubt themselves. That's the famous Dunning-Kruger effect. And in a financial context, it works exactly the opposite of what you'd expect. The beginner acts with confidence because they can't see the full scope of the problem. The expert freezes because they see too many variables. The more you learn, the more you realize how much you still don't know. And that's when the movement stops. And that's when the most dangerous cycle kicks in. You learn more, feel less prepared, seek more knowledge, feel even less prepared. It's an endless loop unless you break it consciously. And the only way to break it is to act before you feel ready. The consequence is real. Smart people stack up courses, certifications, books, specializations, and financially, they stay in the exact same place. Because knowledge without execution is just dead weight. And here's the brutal part. The market doesn't pay you for what you know. The market pays you for what you deliver. Example: a plumber who fixes a specific problem in an hour makes more in that moment than a specialist who spent a full day studying how to solve the same problem. Fair? Maybe not. But it's real. And ignoring that is what keeps so many smart people stuck. The complexity trap. You know where most of the money is. In the simple. Not in the elaborate. Not in the sophisticated. In the simple, the direct, the thing that solves a problem practically and immediately. But smart people have a complicated relationship with simple. Because simple feels too obvious. It feels beneath their level of knowledge. And then something interesting happens. While the analytical mind is building the perfect, complex solution, someone with a simple and imperfect solution is already making money off it. The market doesn't pay whoever is right. The market pays whoever solves. Think about the products and services generating the most revenue in the world today. In most cases, the core idea is dead simple. What makes the difference is execution, consistency, and the ability to solve a real problem in an accessible way. But the analytical mind resists that. It wants to add more layers, more depth, more nuance. And in the process, it makes things so complex they never leave the drawing board. There's one more element that ties all of this together, and this is the one that surprises people the most when I bring it up. Deep down, smart people often prefer being right over getting results. As crazy as that sounds, it's real. There's genuine satisfaction in analyzing well, in understanding deeply, in being the most informed person in the room. And when that satisfaction goes unchecked, it replaces the need to act. You feel productive just by thinking. But thinking doesn't pay the bills. Acting does. And there's one more layer: consistency. Restless minds, which tend to be smart minds, hate repetition. They always want something new, stimulating, different. But money, most of the time, doesn't come from novelty. It comes from repetition. From doing the same thing, done well, for long enough that the results show up. And that's where the cycle completes itself. The smart person starts something, gets bored, quits before the results come in, starts something else and never reaches what they planted. So what actually separates people who make money from those who don't? Not IQ. Not education. Not luck. It's behavior. Specifically the ability to act without certainty. To start without being ready. To fail without shutting down. To repeat without getting bored. And to simplify without feeling small, the money game was never about who knows the most. It's always been about who does the most, for the longest time, with the most consistency, adjusting and correcting until it works. Remember the first question. Whether you've ever gone all in on something and still went nowhere. Now you know why. It wasn't the plan that was wrong. It was the moment of action you kept postponing. The second question, whether you ever felt overqualified to accept something simple. Now you understand that feeling isn't wisdom. It's the complexity trap telling you you're too big to start small. And the third, that person with less knowledge making more money than you. They're not smarter. They just stopped waiting to be ready. Intelligence is a powerful tool, but no tool works sitting in a drawer. It has to be used, and used at the right moment, which almost always is right now. If you recognized yourself in any part of what I said here, that's not a coincidence. This pattern is real, it's common, and it affects exactly the people with the most potential. The difference between the analyst and the doer I mentioned isn't ability. It's a decision. The decision to act before you're ready. And you can make that decision right now. Not tomorrow, when you finish the next course. Not later, when the timing is perfect. Now. Because the perfect moment never shows up. It's built, not waited for. What you need to do differently starting today is simple. Before looking for more knowledge, ask yourself what you already know that you haven't put into practice yet. The answer is probably going to be uncomfortable. And that discomfort is exactly where the progress you've been dreaming about lives. If this video hit home for you, subscribe to the channel. Every week there's content like this, straight to the point. No fluff about money, mindset, and the stories of people who actually turn things around. And if you know someone smart who's stuck financially, send them this video. It might be exactly what they need to hear today. See you in the next one. And go get it.